This is an invitation to feel something good. You might wonder if anyone understands what you're going through, or if there's any hope for someone like you. Today, I want to share some ancient words that have brought comfort to millions of people throughout history who felt exactly the way you feel right now. These aren't just pretty religious sayings. They're words that people have clung to in their darkest moments, words that have been whispered by those who felt abandoned, depressed, and hopeless. You don't need to believe anything specific to listen to these words. Just consider them as messages that have helped others survive their darkness, and see if any of them speak to where you are right now. Let's start with a gentle invitation from Psalm 34, verse 8. Taste and see that the Lord is good. This isn't asking you to believe everything at once. It's simply saying, try it. Just a little taste. Like when someone offers you food you've never tried. They're not asking you to commit to eating it forever, just to see if there might be something good there for you. Millions of people who felt empty and hopeless have found this taste to be exactly what they needed. Not a complete meal, but just enough nourishment to keep going. If you feel lost and don't know where to turn, these words from Matthew 7, verses 7 and 8, have encouraged countless people who felt exactly the same way. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives. The one who seeks finds. Notice that this doesn't say you need to have perfect faith or know exactly what you're looking for. It simply says, ask, seek, knock. The very fact that you're searching for something, meaning hope, relief from pain, that searching itself is valued here. People with mental illness have held on to these words when everything felt hopeless. The promise isn't that life will be easy, but that your searching isn't in vain. For those times when your thoughts are chaotic and you can't find peace, Psalm 46, verse 10, offers this gentle command, be still and know that I am God. This verse has been a lifeline for people struggling with anxiety, racing thoughts, and mental health crises. It's not telling you to fix everything or figure everything out. It's giving you permission to stop struggling for a moment and just be still. People with mental illness often struggle with identity, not knowing who they are or if they're worth anything. This verse suggests that in the stillness, there's a truth about your worth that exists independent of your feelings or circumstances. Isaiah 43, verse 1, speaks directly to fears of abandonment and worthlessness. Do not be afraid, I have redeemed you. I have called you by name. You are mine. Think about what this is saying. You belong to someone. You have been called by name, not just as one person in a crowd, but specifically you. You are claimed. You are wanted. For people who struggle with fear of abandonment, these words have provided an anchor. Even when everyone else seems to leave, there is someone who says, you are mine, and means it forever. One of the most beloved verses for people carrying heavy emotional burdens comes from Matthew 11, verse 28. Come to me, all you who are tired and carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. This isn't addressed to people who have their lives together. It's specifically for those who are tired and burdened. Your depression, your trauma, your emotional exhaustion, these aren't disqualifications. They're the exact reasons you're invited to come. Countless people have whispered this verse while lying in bed, unable to get up, while cutting themselves, while contemplating suicide. It's a gentle invitation to set down the weight you're carrying, even if just for a moment. Zephaniah 3, verses 17, presents a picture of divine love that might shock you. The Lord your God is with you. He rejoices over you with gladness. He quiets you with his love. He sings over you with joy. Read that again slowly. Someone rejoices over you, not over who you could become if you got better, but over you right now. Someone's love actually quiets your inner turmoil. Someone literally sings with joy about your existence. For people who feel fundamentally unlovable, who see themselves as burdens, this verse offers a radically different perspective. You are a source of joy to the divine. You are completely known and still loved. Psalm 139, verses 1 through 3, speaks to those who feel unknown and unseen. You have searched me, Lord, and you know me. You know when I sit and when I rise. You perceive my thoughts from afar. You discern my going out and my lying down. You are familiar with all of my ways. This can be either terrifying or comforting, depending on how you hear it. For people with mental illness who often feel like they're too much for others to handle, this verse says, someone knows everything about you, your darkest thoughts, your most shameful moments, your weirdest behaviors, and hasn't run away. You are completely known and still completely loved. Your pain matters. One of the most tender verses in all of Scripture is Psalm 56, verse 8. You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. Every time you've cried alone in your room, every tear shed over feeling worthless or abandoned, every moment of pain that seemed to matter to no one. This verse says that someone has been collecting each tear like precious treasure. Your pain isn't invisible. Your suffering isn't meaningless. Someone is keeping track not to judge you, but because your tears matter. When you don't know how to pray, Romans 8, verse 26, speaks to those who want to reach out, but don't know how. The Spirit helps us in our weakness. We do not know what we ought to pray for, but the Spirit Himself intercedes for us. You don't need to have the right words. You don't need to know what to ask for. You don't even need to understand what you need. Your weakness, your confusion, your inability to articulate your pain, that's not a barrier. That's exactly when help kicks in. Even your inability to pray is being translated into something meaningful, permission to pour out your heart. Psalm 62, verse 8, gives you permission to be completely honest. Trust in Him at all times, you people. Pour out your hearts to Him, for God is our refuge. Pour out your heart, not the cleaned up version, not the polite version, the real mess of emotions, fears, anger, desperation, all of it. This isn't about being nice or appropriate. It's about being real. God is described as a refuge, a safe place where you can be completely yourself without fear of rejection. Love without fear. 1 John 4, verse 18, addresses one of the core struggles of mental illness, the fear that drives so many of our reactions. There is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear. The fear of abandonment, the fear of being too much, the fear of being not enough. Perfect love dissolves these fears, not by proving them wrong necessarily, but by providing something stronger than the fear. When you know you're perfectly loved, the other fears lose their power over you. Words from those who've walked before. Throughout history, people who struggled with depression and spiritual darkness have left us words of comfort. Saint Augustine, writing about his own struggles, said, "My heart is restless until it rests in you." That restlessness you feel, the inability to settle, the constant searching for something to fill the emptiness. Augustine is saying it has a purpose. Your heart is looking for where it belongs. And Saint Teresa of Avila, who battled depression and anxiety, offers these calming words: "Let nothing disturb you, all things pass. Your current pain, as intense as it is, will not last forever. The crisis you're in right now, it will pass. This isn't minimizing your suffering. It's offering hope that the intensity you're experiencing isn't permanent." What these words offer you, these verses and quotes, aren't magic formulas. They won't instantly fix your depression or heal your trauma, but they offer something that millions of people have found invaluable: the knowledge that you're not alone in your struggles. These words were written by people who felt abandoned, who cried themselves to sleep, who questioned whether life was worth living. They were preserved and cherished by communities of people who found in them something worth holding on to during their darkest nights. You don't need to become religious to receive comfort from these words. You don't need to understand everything about them or agree with all the theology behind them. You just need to be open to the possibility that maybe, just maybe, they contain something you need to hear right now, an invitation to return. If any of these words spoke to you, if even one phrase made you feel a little less alone, that's enough. You can return to that verse whenever you need it. You can write it down, repeat it to yourself. Let it be a small light in your darkness. Many people have found that these ancient words somehow speak directly to their modern struggles. Your depression, your mental illness, your addiction, your feelings of abandonment and emptiness. People have been experiencing these same struggles for thousands of years, and they've found comfort in these same words. You're part of a long tradition of people who have felt lost and found hope in unexpected places. Your struggle connects you to countless others who have walked this path before you and found reasons to keep going. Closing thought: whether you're ready to pray, whether you believe in God, whether any of this makes sense to you, you matter. Your pain matters. Your search for meaning and hope matters. These words have been a bridge for millions of people between their deepest despair and their first glimpse of hope. Maybe they can be that bridge for you too. You don't have to figure everything out today. You just have to keep breathing, keep seeking, keep being open to the possibility that your story isn't over yet. And maybe, just maybe, you're more loved than you could ever imagine.